In this case, we are dealing with an opacified hydrophilic IOL implanted 20 years ago in this eye. The current visual acuity of this patient is hand motion. We start by making two paracenteses through which we're going to insert our instruments to dissect the rhexis margin from the IOL. We are using a LASIK spatula and OVD in a blunt cannula to create some space and then carefully separate the haptics from the capsular bag. A Sinski is also employed to slowly maneuver this lens to the anterior chamber. This IOL has 4 haptics, and one by one each haptic is brought outside of the bag and over the rhexis margin. As this step is performed, we notice that the temporal aspect of the capsular bag might have been violated. Now a microforceps is used to hold the lens in place, and then with the special scissors we cut the IOL in some pieces, which are gently withdrawn from the AC. As we take these pieces out, we can appreciate how opacified this lens actually is. There are several techniques to explain an IOL, such as the Pac-Man and the so-called twist and out technique. Because of this lens design, we chose to simply cut it into multiple pieces and take each of them out of the eye. We pay special attention to avoid causing any further damage to the capsule and also to the corneal endothelium. We go around the iris margin to check if there's enough support for an IOL placed in the sulcus. Some triamcinolone is injected to highlight any vitreous strands. Anti-vitrectomy is performed using the vitrector probe. After that, a 3-piece IOL is implanted in the ciliary sulcus. The first haptic goes directly above the rhexis and under the iris. Next, the trailing haptic is carefully positioned in the sulcus with a microforceps. The vitrector probe is employed once again to aspirate the OVD. Finally, the main incision is closed with a 10-0 nylon suture. These are some pictures of the post-op day 1. The UBM scan showed that the IOL was nicely positioned and centered. The visual acuity of this patient went from hand motion to 20/25.